Hello and welcome back to the Raw Feeding Journal. I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Robin.
Now, Robin, we often hear a specific criticism from people who are skeptical of raw feeding. They say, it's all just anecdotal. My vet says there's no peer-reviewed evidence.
Oh, we hear that all the time. It's just a fad, or where is the data? But actually, that landscape is changing rapidly. Today, we are going to geek out a little bit. We are diving into the hard science, the studies, the biology, and the expert opinions that back up why raw feeding works.
Exactly. And we have to start with the big one. The University of Helsinki in Finland.
Yes, the DogRisk research group. If you are a raw feeder and you don't know about them, you should. They are conducting independent, university-level research into canine nutrition. Their findings on puppies specifically were groundbreaking.
They were. They looked at the link between diet and canine atopic dermatitis, skin allergies essentially. They found that puppies fed a raw diet had a significantly lower risk of developing skin allergies and inflammatory issues later in life. Conversely, puppies fed a highly processed, kibble-based diet had a much higher risk.
It comes down to inflammation, doesn't it? Leading nutritionists and vets are starting to agree that highly processed diets, which are often high in carbohydrates and cooked at extremely high temperatures, create a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation in the body. That stresses the immune system.
Which brings us neatly to the microbiome. I feel like gut health is a buzzword for humans right now, but it's just as critical for dogs.
Absolutely. Scientists estimate that around 70 to 80% of the immune system resides in the gut. The research shows that raw-fed dogs have a much more diverse microbiome compared to kibble-fed dogs.
And diversity is key.
Exactly. Think of it like a rainforest. You want a vast variety of bacteria to handle different threats. Sterile, cooked food doesn't feed that good bacteria in the same way fresh, living food does. A diverse gut means a robust immune system.
We also see this in the physical evidence, digestibility. We touched on this in our beginners episode, but scientifically, the smaller poo phenomenon proves that the dog is actually absorbing the nutrients rather than passing them as waste.
The bioavailability is just higher. But Charlotte, we should address the veterinary community. Traditionally, vets have been hesitant about raw.
They have, but that tide is turning, isn't it? We are seeing more members joining organisations like the Raw Feeding Veterinary Society, RFVS, here in the UK.
We are. The scientific argument they make is compelling. They argue that dogs are facultative carnivores. We are the only species on Earth that cooks its food. And we are certainly the only species that cooks food for another species. By removing the heat processing, we preserve the amino acids and enzymes that are often destroyed in kibble manufacturing.
It's the difference between surviving and thriving. A dog can survive on kibble, just like I could survive on fast food. But biologically, their systems are primed for moisture-rich, fresh protein.
Precisely. The University of Helsinki data even suggested that adding just 20% raw food to a dry diet significantly lowered inflammation markers. So, science is telling us that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Fresh food is medicine.
That is a great takeaway. You don't need a PhD to see the results, but it is certainly reassuring to know that the research is finally catching up with what we see in our bowls every day.
Absolutely. Science is on our side.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Make sure to subscribe for our next episode. Thanks for listening to the Raw Feeding Journal.